Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm, of course, your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, we are going to be playing in the Borsig, otherwise known as the Rhm B WT. Now, this Tier 8 German tank destroyer may look very small and quaint, and it may only weigh in at around, how much does this thing even weigh? 18 tons. I mean, that is not a very heavy tank. Sure, you're not going to be able to kick this thing and move it by your bare hands, but compared to vehicles, let's say like, the IS-6 that probably weighs in at around 50 tons, this thing has literally no armor. So what makes this vehicle good? Well, it's the gun. It carries a tier 10 15 centimeter gun. And well, with all 15 centimeters, it deals 640 damage per shot, 960 on the high explosive, and with 367 millimeters of premium pen, you literally butter through any frontal armor. Now, the gun may not be as accurate or have nearly as much damage per minute as the ISU-152. There are some distinct and major advantages. The first one is the camouflage. This vehicle has an incredibly high amount of camo, most comparable to a vehicle like the E25. It's not as high, but I can honestly say that if you're within 100 meters of your opponent and you're behind a bush, you will never be detected. It's actually fantastic. If you're within, I'd say, 150 meters of your opponent and sitting still, they won't spot you outside of a bush. The camo is fantastic on the vehicle. Not to mention, with that big alpha, you come with a turret, which is interesting. So the turret can fully traverse around the entire tank, which makes it very versatile, because you can snap somebody and then pull around a corner, which is, kind of like the Waffenträger off Panzer IV, what that vehicle can do. And of course, with your 367 millimeters of heat pen, the exact same as an E100, in fact, this vehicle has the exact same DPM around as the E100 as well, this vehicle is sometimes very deadly and sometimes not. But it as well comes with downsides. First of all, as we already went over, it has basically zero armor. But a nice thing about it is that it does come with Spall Liner. And of course, Spall Liner gives you the ability to at least not die from high explosive, taking 20% less. Now, this spot here is a fantastic position. Vehicles like that T49 or anybody that tries poking this hill is not going to enjoy it all too much. I'm just going to be kind of chilling here. Oh, there's the T49. Is he going to poke it again? Yeet! Oh, baby! 914 damage off of that guy, and we are just going to skedaddle my way straight in the cover. Yee! There you go. I mean, we weren't even detected at that hill. That hill's not very far away. I mean, it's about 200 meters away, but again, we are not, like, I'm not moving my tank at all. Oh, that's so sad. It was so close. Well, that sucks. Hopefully our team is going to be able to survive a little bit while that hell is going on out in the middle of the battlefield there. I don't even know what's going on up there. I mean, only one of our tanks died, but their T49 died as well, so it wasn't like they won the trade. We know where their T29 is, and we know where their T49 is. Is he camping at the base? Yes, he is. He's camping in the back of the map. Is that T29 going to end up poking it? Well, R4... What the heck is this game? I mean, this is just the battle of the camping. We've got our tank camping at the back, not even using the bush correctly. And then their tank is camping at the back, not even using the bush correctly. Now, I would love for this T29 to poke this, and our team is losing this very, very quickly. But I'm just going to stay in this spot. Honestly, I don't care what the team does. I'm going to stay back here. Hello, comrades. What are you going to do? Maybe we can aim at this bush. Lupus, please kill him. Please, I believe in you, Lupus. Either way, we're just going to keep aiming here. I mean, I don't know what to expect from the enemy team, and I don't know what to expect at all, really. But come on, IS-5, poke it. Yeet! There you go. 679 into the IS-5, and that's half of his health gone. Like, pretty chunky damage if I do say so myself. And obviously, I can just poke that again and take the guy out. So let's back up here. Maybe I can get a shell into that player. You never know. I don't know if anybody wants to poke that again. Well, speaking of poking, there's a T29. And again, that is half of his health gone in a standard shell. So that is pretty easy damage. And you can clearly see where that big alpha really does feel fantastic. I mean, it's awesome to just chunk off half of anybody's health with a standard shell. I mean, there's the IS-5, and boom! IS-5 is dead. Like, that was super easy. Now, I am worried about that T49, so I'm going to poke this a little bit more safely this time. We're going to see if we can get a shell into that FCM 50 ton. So let's aim in on his vehicle. Aiming, and fire. There you go. He is taken out. So with that, again, we've gotten some pretty nice shells out here, if I do say so. We're easily coming out with actually almost a victory here for just very simple things, right? I'm just staying at the back of the map, using the gun, again, to its advantage, and it seems like it's doing its job. pretty darn well. Now, there is the enemy T-49, and hopefully, just hopefully, my LTTB, yes, he did it. My LTTB is a savior. Come on, all we need to do now is hit the enemy T-49, which I'm aiming in on currently, and fire. There you go. Finished him off for 700 hit points, and that was a victory in the RHM. That game looked like it was completely lost, but it prevailed. We did 4,168 damage, and we were easily able to chunk shell after shell into the enemy. 914 into T-49, 1,293 into the IS-5, 579. This one was a nice roll because we lit them on fire for 713, and finally, 669 on the T-49. And that just shows you what the tank is capable of doing in certain scenarios that are really fruitful for the tank. I mean, I wasn't really expecting to win that, but because I was able to stay in that very calm and, should I say, situational spot, I wasn't able to be detected, as I said, even from very close distances on enemy tanks. So I just continued poking that spot, and the enemy team couldn't spot me, so bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. They all died. So what do we have on the enemy team this time? Well, we got a Skoda T50, FCM 50-ton, M3O, Conway, RU-251, a T-34, and a Tiger 2. Now, one thing I did leave out about this tank as well is the very quick mobility. I mean, it's a very light tank. You know, you'd think that this thing goes like 70 kilometers per hour for it only weighing 18 tons. I mean, vehicles like the Object 907 weigh in at around 33 tons, and that thing can go at 60. So you'd think this vehicle's very fast, but no, but it's also not slow. I mean, it's got a good power-to-weight ratio, so it's able to even uphill chunk very quickly into position. Now, our Leopard PTA is hopefully going to get a nice tap. There you go, right into the RU-251. And what I'm hoping is that once I get into this position, I should be able to get a very, very easy tap into the enemy. So let's get right here. And, well, what do we have? We got the Skoda off to the side, which I would love to get a shell into. And there is the FCM. Boom, 519. Sure, might not have been a very high roll, because now I just realized, I was wondering, why did it roll so low? But then I realized I accidentally loaded premium ammunition. But either way, I mean, it was still a pretty substantial chunk of damage, and this guy, well, yeah, he's dead. I mean, that's what HE obviously does to opponents, so that guy did not enjoy life all too much. Now, our Leopard is, yeah, he's not enjoying that all too much either, which is not good, if I do say so myself. Now, I do need to be worried about that yo, but for the most part, we got to be more worried about these tanks coming off to the side. I'm hoping that the T-34 loses a massive chunk of HP for poking this. Oh, they fired. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. And, well, let's go for that T-34. There you go. Nice tap for 630. And now, oh, baby, this is what I'm talking about. The big alpha boys have rolled around the corner. So there's the Skoda off to the side. And that Skoda just watched my teammate fire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my advantage on this. We are going to go straight after the Skoda. And yeet! There you go. He is dead. I mean, alpha is key. As I always say, a lot of people argue the ISU is just a better version of this vehicle because this tank doesn't have the DPM to support it, but I don't think that's true. I mean, you don't need DPM in every scenario, and this is a perfect example of that. I mean, this tank just easily comes and cuts through enemy armor. We have the Conway off to the side, and I'm aiming in on him. Aiming, and fire! There you go, 604 damage into the Conway. And sure, while this may not have been the most of damage dealt in a game, I mean, for a tier 8 battle, dealing 2,700, that's pretty strong if I say so. So let me know what you guys think about the RHM in the comments down below. I honestly think that if a competent player is using this vehicle, it is a fantastic tank. As I said, Spalliner was fantastic alone when it came in. I mean, 20% of all high explosive damage is negated. It has a big alpha gun, and sure, while the accuracy, as I did go over, is terrible, it's .422. In these two games, it really didn't act all terrible, and the reason for that is because I played it as a pseudo-aggressive playstyle. Sure, on the one game mines, that was more of a camping playstyle, but that's because you're never expecting an RHM to push aggressive on mines. If they are, expect a very quick and deadly death. If you're playing correctly, you'll stay at the back, but that's not a super far distance. As we saw, it's only about 200 meters away, so the shell's not going to disperse that much. Compared to when we were on, obviously, what was that, Rockfield there, I was easily able to just get shells into the enemy because I was like, what, 20 feet away from certain shots there on that, what was it, the T-34, we got a shell into the Skoda. Your shots aren't going to miss at that distance, and because I have a turret, unlike the ISU that has to pull all the way around the corner, then shoot, and then back all the way up, this tank just, boom, snaps a shell in and backs right up. I love it. Super fun tank, and hopefully you guys like this tank as well. Let me know if you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to smash that subscribe button down below. If you didn't, well, don't. But other than that, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.